Okay, and now to make the dough for the Malu Pan, here are the ingredients. 2 cups of flour, 1 egg, 2 teaspoons of yeast, 1 tablespoon of melted butter, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and warm water to be used as needed. So first we're going to add the yeast to a bowl and the sugar. And some warm water, about a cup. And I'm just going to give it a good mix. Make sure that your yeast is active. If you've had it on the shelf for a long time, it may not work. So you try to use fresh yeast. And I'm going to set this aside for 10 minutes in a warm, dark place. And the yeast has dissolved. So I'm just going to keep that aside for now while I get the egg ready. To the egg, I'm just going to beat it up in a bowl. Okay, so now to get the dough ready, to the bowl, create a center well. This is easier that way. Drop your egg. And your yeast. Just a pinch of salt. I forgot to mention that in the beginning, but just a pinch of salt. Add in the melted butter and mix it all up. You're going to form a very soft dough. Okay, so you get a very sticky dough, and I have some extra flour on hand, and I'm just going to use a very little bit. And just roll it around so that you don't have a very sticky dough, and you can form a very soft dough. But it's important to get all the dry flour off of the bowl. So now I'm going to transfer this dough onto my, just put on a little bit of melted butter there, onto my working surface. And I'm going to nicely knead this dough for about 10 minutes. Okay, so now it's been almost 10 minutes. I'm just going to roll off the dough and make it into a smooth ball. And I'm going to place it in the bowl that I had it in. Or you could use another bowl. Just on the top, rub it with a little bit of butter. And now I'm going to cover it up with a damp cloth and set it aside for 1 hour. Okay, so now it's been an hour, and the dough has puffed up, and it's kind of sticky on top too, so I'm just going to punch it down. I'm going to let it rest for another 10 minutes before I form the buns. And meanwhile, I have just taken a baking dish and just lightly greased it on the bottom and put a piece of wax paper. The wax paper is optional. Okay, so now it's been 10 minutes, and I'm just going to roll up the dough. Use milk instead of the water that I used. And that will make your dough very soft. So usually the way I do it is just, bear with me, divide the dough into two. And every time I can't manage the flour, I just dust my hands with some flour. And I'm going to divide this into 3. So 1, so I can make about 6. And we have to let them rest each time so that they are not too elastic when we are rolling out the dough. Okay, so now I have a damp cloth again and I'm covering them up, and I'll just let them sit for 10 minutes before I start making the buns. Okay, so now I'm using a tray to roll out my dough. You could just use the wooden board or your countertop even. Just make sure it's clean. And it's been 10 minutes. I'll just take the first one. And I'm keeping the other ones covered. And I'll just flatten it out. Oops. With my hands a little bit. And once I form a circle, I'm going to roll it out into a roughly about 5 to 6 inch circle. Okay, so it's roughly 6 inches in diameter. So now you don't have to worry too much about the thickness. You don't want it too thick, but not very thin either. And now my filling that I had let to cool, I'm just placing a little bit of it in the middle, about a tablespoonful. And now to show you how to fold it, we want the traditional triangle shape, right? So just making one fold and then another one to form top like that, and then you pull the bottom over. I'm going to seal the joints, get all the other ones ready like that, and you'll place it face down into your baking dish. So here I have 5 of them, and here's my last one, the 6th. And now again I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, before I do an egg wash and put them in the oven. So now I can start preheating my oven at 375, and once the oven's ready, the buns will probably be ready at the same time, and I can just pop them in the oven. Okay, to make the egg wash, it's just to break 1 egg into a small bowl. Beaten. I'm just going to thin it out with a little water. So I'm going to lightly coat all of these buns with the egg wash. Okay, so very light coating. So they all have the egg wash on, and now I'm going to put it in the oven at 375 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes until they are puffed up and golden brown. Okay, so now the buns are baked, and you can see they have a nice golden brown top. And I'm just going to set it out onto the cooling tray so that they can cool down. out, it'll feel like they're really hard. But don't worry, just give it some time to cool and they soften up. Okay, they look nice, they look delicious. And I'm just going to put a little butter on them using the back of a spoon just to soften it up a little. Give it a nice shine, and of course taste. Everything tastes nice with butter. And then I'll let them rest until they are not hot but just slightly warm to touch. So now, since they're cooled down slightly, you'll see how soft they are. They're really soft and delicious. You can enjoy them right away. And that's it, folks. So there you have it, folks. Today's recipe, Malu Paan. I hope you will try it and enjoy it. It's delicious to be had as a snack or tea time, or even to take on picnics. So please do try it. Post your comments, questions, and suggestions for future recipes, and I will be sure to try them out. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more recipes from Sunnylanka.